If you want to be a top tier Excel user, you have to know how to use logical formulas. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the F formula. And in this video, I'll show you how to use the if formula in Excel. Without any further ado, I will go ahead and jump right in. Don't forget to download the data linked at the top of the description so that you can work along with me. So for this problem, we are a teacher and we are grading papers that were turned in by our various students. As you can see right here, we have all of their grades as well as their turned in dates, but we also want to find out if they turned them in on time and the due date was 3/18. And if they didn't turn them in on time, we are going to deduct 10 percentage points from their letter grade. And to find this out, we are going to be using the if formula. And to start that, we will just do an equal sign and then type IF for if and then an open parentheses. So basically how this formula works is we do some kind of a logical test and then we return one value if this is true and then we return a different value if this is false. And this will make a lot more sense if we just jump right in. Before we get started, what we are trying to do here is we are going to return yes if the paper was turned in on time, which means it was either on the due date or before, and then we will return no if it was turned in late. So our logical test is going to be if the date they turned this in is less than or equals to the due date, because that would say they turned it in either on time or early. That is going to be our logical test, and then we will put a comma. And what we want to return if it is true is yes. So we are going to use double quotations and then just type yes. It doesn't have to be in all caps, but that's what I'm doing here. Don't forget to close your quotations and then hit a comma. And then just like before, we want a value if it is false. So if they turned it in late, we are going to use open quotations again, but we're going to type no, and we'll even add an exclamation point. Close the quotations and hit enter. And as we can see, this looks like it works because this person submitted it before the due date, so it looks good so far. And now before we drag down this formula to the other cells, we do need to make this due date an absolute cell reference. And to do that, we will just click right here in the middle of the cell reference and hit function F4. You can also just manually put the dollar signs before the K and the 3. This makes it an absolute cell reference. If we didn't do this, once we drag this cell down like we will in a minute, it would start to reference these blank cells, which obviously we don't want to do. So now that we've done that, we can just drag this down to these other cells. And as we can see, everybody in this list submitted their paper on time except for this student, Alex Freeberg. So that is going to be the one person who gets a deducted score. So their original score was 42%. So we're going to make this 32%. And if your data isn't already in percentage format, you could just select these range of cells and then hit percent right here, and that will change this to percentages. For everybody else, we are just going to pull in their original score. Let's do that for these last two people as well. And there you have it. Now we know which students turned in their papers on time, and then we have the final grades for their papers, including the deduction for this one delinquent student. Anyway, I hope this video helps. Be sure to check out the other videos in this series if you want to become a great Excel user. And whether you want to become an Excel genius or a data analyst, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I post a brand new video every single week helping you become the best data analyst or Excel user that you can be. And with that, I'll see you next week.